Ahoy, mateys! Welcome to my ship. It's January 7th, 2026. A mutiny against silence when oversight fails the vulnerable. I never planned to become a pirate. I'm a mother, a caregiver, a researcher now by necessity. But when the systems meant to protect nonverbal and developmentally disabled adults told me to rely on hope instead of oversight, something became very clear. When the ship is sailing in the wrong direction, silence is not loyalty, it's complicity. That's when the mutiny began. Not a violent one, a moral one. On January 7th, the U.S. House Committee on Oversight is holding hearings on massive fraud in Minnesota. Fraud involving taxpayer dollars meant to serve vulnerable people. Billions of dollars, years of warnings, families raising alarms, oversight failing again and again. And here's what matters most. Those weren't victimless crimes. The victims were people who couldn't speak, people who depended on the system to work. That's not just a Minnesota problem, that's a national problem. In pirate history, a mutiny wasn't always about greed or power. Sometimes it happened because the captain ignored danger, the crew saw the ship taking on water, and the people in charge refused to change course. A mutiny was the moment ordinary sailors said, "This ship is not safe, and pretending otherwise will get people killed." That's where we are now. Parents, guardians, advocates, journalists. We're not overthrowing the ship. We are refusing to go down with it in silence. In Minnesota, the fraud is finally being dragged into light. In Oregon, I was told, group homes can take developmentally disabled adults to strip clubs. Paid caregivers supervising vulnerable clients in public adult venues was allowed. And families had no say. When I reported concerns, I was met with closed doors, confidentiality walls, and the word hope instead of safeguards. That's not oversight, that's abdication. Different states, same ship, same leaks. This mutiny isn't for clicks, it isn't for politics, and it isn't for attention. Although it is for attention, that's the only way I can get my story out since none of these highly paid people can do their job. It's for the nonverbal adult who can't report abuse, the family told they're overreacting, the caregiver who knows something is wrong but fears retaliation. When oversight protects institutions more than people, the crew has a duty to speak. That's not rebellion. That's responsibility. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Sometimes you don't defeat pirates by firing cannons. You defeat them by learning their maps. I didn't become a pirate to steal anything. I became one to follow the money, read the policies, and expose where the accountability disappears. To protect the voiceless, I had to sail close enough to understand how the ship actually runs. The January 7th hearings matter because they prove something families have known for years. Oversight often comes after the damage is done. My goal, and the reason for this channel, is to change that. To stop pretending silence equals safety. To stop calling accountability disruption. To stop telling mothers they don't understand their own children. This is a mutiny against neglect, against secrecy, against systems that will profit while people suffer. If you're watching this and you feel uneasy, good. That means you're awake. Because history doesn't judge ships by how calm they look from the shore. It judges them by whether they protected the people on board. And when the captain won't change course, the crew has a moral obligation to speak. Ahoy, mateys! The mutiny against silence has already begun. Rogue Mother rising. Set sails, off we go. Bye.